Did you hear that?
I did.
Oh, that's awesome. So now you know that I'm recording you, right?
Yep.
Mackenzie Smith, right?
Yes, that is me.
Monty Gaddis. I was your coach in Cup 2017.
Yep.
Gosh dang, it's been a day or two, hasn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me here, and I want to ask you a couple questions about the trip and your experience with the cup and everything. I know you had a great high school career. If I don't remember correctly, which I don't remember very well sometimes, but I think you had a pretty good tournament. We had a pretty good pitcher too, along with your hitting over there.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of things that a coach would want out of you. Sorry, I had to stop the phone with the first base and then jumping in as a catcher for us.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about you, Kenzie. We go by Kenzie, right? Kenzie.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about you and how you got involved in softball with the Cup.
So I tried out for Nitro in 2016.
Okay.
And second day of tryouts, when I was there, I was approached by the owner of the organization, and he said, I want you to go for this Queen of Diamonds.
Nice. Yep.
I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I was like, hey, it sounds like a great opportunity. So I went to Ohio and I was a cage animal there.
Okay.
And
Yep.
then I went to South Carolina, I believe, and they
Uh-huh.
did another one
Yep.
there.
Most likely probably Aiken.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And that one was the big game changer for me.
Yeah.
Being there, I was like so down on myself. I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on with me. Everything just feels different here. There's so much pressure. And I ended up coming out with 2 MVPs and an overall MVP from Kurt. And it was just
Yeah.
this crazy experience.
Kurt Whiteside of all the people. Right.
And at that point, my best friend at the time was already going to the Cup. She knew she was going, and we played on the same Nitro team. And I was so happy for her, but of course, part of me wanted to go too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure everybody remembers the video that was posted on Facebook of me, where my parents sat me down at the kitchen table and said, yeah, your best friend's going to play in the World Cup. And I said, yeah, I know. And they said, well, did you know that you're going to play in the Cup? And of course, I immediately started bawling, crying.
I think I remember that now that you say that.
Yeah, that's a highlight video for Kurt. I think that's how
Yeah,
he'll always remember me.
absolutely.
So that's how I ended up in that situation.
Awesome. So you're from Pennsylvania, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I've coached girls from all over the United States. As far as California, out to the East Coast, a lot of them come from kind of the middle parts of the states here. And of course, we already said you went to Cup 2017. Tell me a little bit about your Cup experience. Tell me when you got on the plane, were you nervous to come over?
It was definitely nerve-wracking.
Okay.
I have flown my entire life, but when we're told we're going to be on this average normal plane with 3 seats on each side and we're going that far, I
Right.
was nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long was your flight? You flew out of Pennsylvania, probably to a hub city?
Flew from, I think, Latrobe to Philly.
Okay.
And then we waited around at Philly for everybody to get there.
Right.
And
And
then
then
we
probably
all got on the plane together
okay.
to
And then
go over.
probably like what, an 8 hour flight or so,
I
seven, eight
think it was
hours,
9 hours with the
9
time
hours.
change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, well, so you were nervous to go over, if I understood you correctly. So tell me how you kind of acclimated when you got there. What was some of the things that by the end of the trip, were you as nervous as you were when you landed?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, coming off that airplane, you're walking into this airport and they're carrying around these machine guns, and you're like, wow, this is a whole different culture.
Right.
But then as you go through the trip, you kind of realize that everybody that you're with is in the same exact position that you are, which
Oh
is
yeah.
odd, which is rare for any situation like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're out of the country, you're playing softball, you're experiencing all these new things, but so is everybody else around you.
Yeah. Did you ever feel threatened over there? Did you pretty much enjoy yourself the whole time you were there?
I mean, you hear the stories because they
Right.
have to prepare you,
Oh yeah.
but I never once did I feel threatened.
Awesome. Yeah. And of course, I mean, you had the best coach in the world too. I mean, we won't mention his name, of course.
Exactly. The best coach, best tour guide.
Well, I was a pretty good tour guide. Oh, wait, that says it's me. So, hey, tell me something. Tell me something interesting, a little bit about it while you were there, besides the softball. I mean, this is a whole cup experience. I mean, this is a thing from, you land in Amsterdam, you spend a couple of days in Rotterdam, a day in Amsterdam, you spend several days in Paris. Tell me something besides the softball that you really, really liked and a little bit about it.
Just the architecture and the
Okay.
history, that's
Yep.
everywhere you go. I mean, between just all the hot spots like the Anne Frank Museum, the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, just everything, the Princess Diana Memorial, everything, everywhere you go. And it's very treasured, very important to people there.
Okay.
It's not something that you see here as much.
Right. How did the people accept you while you were there? I mean, when you were in the Netherlands, and we'll kind of break it down as the Netherlands and France, because obviously two different countries. But anyway, so when you were in the Netherlands, did you feel like you were kind of almost like at a home away from home?
Honestly, yeah. And everybody was so nice. You had
Yeah.
any questions, any concerns, somebody was going to help you and answer you
Uh-huh.
or try their best. Paris was not so much that way,
Okay.
but it was almost like you just don't ask. That
So
wasn't that they were rude, it was just figure it out.
yeah, and in the Netherlands, was there much of a language barrier?
No, not as much as I
Okay.
thought.
But in Paris, well, we're in France and Paris, there's probably a little bit of a language barrier in some of the
Yeah,
places.
there was definitely more there in Paris.
But you didn't feel uncomfortable or anything though, did you?
No, I mean, we have people here that speak all different kinds of
Well,
languages. You just
true.
kind of roll with it.
True, absolutely. So at the end of the trip, I mean, so you basically the 7 days goes by. Um, were you? Did you at the end of the seventh day? Were you kind of like, I really enjoyed this versus what I thought coming over? Because being nervous on the way over, but yet at the end of the trip, what was your thoughts at the end of the trip?
It was almost like you wish you could take parts of it home with you forever.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So when you were over there, and of course, I mean, you've had a love for softball, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done this. Um, Tell me a little bit about the teams that you played. I mean, not necessarily the specific teams, but I mean, how was not the American teams, but how was the teams you played over there, the European teams? What was the competition like?
They are highly skilled players over there. And it's different because we're playing women that are full grown women, like
Yes.
they're 20s, 30s. And I was 15 at the time. So they've been doing this for much longer and we're on their turf. I mean, they've played inside in these conditions forever.
Right.
So it was,
What do you think of the facilities as far as being inside? I mean, was it a little bit different than maybe what you've been used to?
it was, especially because of the bleachers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was different.
But the fans was awesome, weren't they?
So awesome. So awesome. It was nice because they were right there. You felt their energy too
Yeah,
from all over. Like it was great.
right. So as far as the the like the tournament, the setup, I mean, with the format and everything, and then the championship game, and could you tell the intensity inside the building for that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yes. And it was during every play, every at bat, every pitch, you felt it
Right.
for everybody.
Nice. Nice. Well, Kenzie, I loved having you on my team. And, like I said, I know I kind of threw you under the bus. We had a girl that slid into second base, if I'm not mistaken, tore her ACL. And then with only having one extra sub, I had to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I need a catcher. And you
Yeah.
just jumped right in and took it, didn't you?
Yep.
Pretty much said, hey, coach, I'm right here. I got you, coach. I got you.
Yeah.
And right in there, went from first base to catcher, and we finished off and still did a good job. So
Yeah.
I don't
Hey,
remember
you
where we
did what you
placed,
can.
but
Oh, I don't remember either.
yeah, it's been a lot of years since I've been doing this. So one
Yeah.
final question for you. Actually, I got two. I tricked you. Two questions. One is, tell me your favorite food of the entire trip.
Okay, well, my favorite that I could eat every day for the rest of my life was the croissants.
Mm,
1000%.
yes.
But my mom and I had this steak salad with these half-cut potatoes on it. That was so good.
Oh, sounds
So good.
delicious. You'll have
It
to
was.
message me later so I know where to go get those next time when I go over in January.
Yes, yeah, we have a picture. I'll have to find it and I'll send it to you.
And if you had one thing to say to people as far as the whole trip and the whole experience, what would be one thing you'd say in, 10, 12, 15 words?
Be intentional with your time there.
That's good. I like that. Be intentional
Yeah.
with your time. I like that.
Be in the moment. Don't be so caught up in taking the pictures and going everywhere you can. Enjoy where you're at.
Right. Awesome. Well, Kenzie, man, I truly appreciate this. It's been a day or two since I've talked to you, and I reached out to you and you instantly jumped right on and jumped on the bandwagon to let me interview you. And I truly appreciate this. So,
Yes, this was awesome. It was great to talk to you again.
well, I'm sure maybe we'll talk in the future here soon, and hold tight just a second. Okay.
All right.